about? Could you tell a little bit, introduce the subject to our audience a little bit?
Okay, so I'll just give an example, and this example might help you to understand what exactly social psychology is. So let us just consider a situation where you actually, we are talking about a boy. Let us say there's no name we give to this boy to avoid any kind of problems. He is
The
seen
usual
stealing some
ABC, you can call them ABC.
let us say ABC XYZ.
Okay.
So he is seen stealing some money from a particular shop, and let us say a police officer just sees this particular person and asks him to stop, right? And this guy turns back and just shoots that person.
And, okay.
So what you want to do is you want to understand why that particular person engaged in certain behavior. Now, when you talk about the reasons underlying any particular behavior, you can talk about it at individual level. I guess you and most of the audience might have seen the Batman trilogy.
Yeah,
the Batman Begins,
yeah.
Dark Knight Rises. So let us say the villain of the first movie, right? So in the first movie, the villain, which was the Don, he committed crimes, or even Martha Wayne's and Thomas Wayne were killed essentially because of the growing unemployment and poverty in the city. Right. So this is a level of analysis where you explain behavior to societal causes, right? You do a society level analysis. Now, I won't call this social psychology. Then you come to the second movie where you have the Joker as the main villain, and you will say that he committed causes because he liked to do it. There was a certain personality trait that he had. So you can explain a behavior by using someone's personality. In social psychology, what we do is we look at how these social factors around the person, for example, the environment in which you grew, resulted in your behavior. For example, if you're talking about Bane from the third movie, he might not really be a villain as such because of his personality trait, but because of the way things happened around him, things unfolded, that led him to behave in a particular manner. So social psychology is mostly just about trying to understand this behavior and the social factors that might influence your behavior.
Fair enough, fair enough. So Batman is pretty much a huge derivative for everybody who, is into a social psychology kind of aspect. So has there been a driving force? कभी आपने बचपन में movie देखी और वो introduction psychology के साथ, or is there a class in psychology that introduces Batman to it? Is there something about it?
Okay. So when we were young, and I guess you might remember, then Matrix was a big hit, right?
Yeah,
Matrix trilogy.
That was the one that,
it started everything.
Yeah.
So most of my interest in understanding human psychology, understanding reality and the problems with the reality actually stem from that movie. So if you remember Matrix, it comes from a philosophical argument, which is about whether the reality that you're seeing outside is true or not. And this question was asked first by a very famous philosopher, René Descartes. So,
René Descartes.
René Descartes. So he gave the saying that cognito ergo sum, which essentially means I think, therefore I am. You might have heard that translation before.
Definitely.
So most of these movies derive from philosophical notions, and they provide an easy way for us to understand the underlying concept, understand the underlying problem without really getting into the boring philosophy and boring theories.
Right.
So yeah, definitely movies are a big driving force for me.
That sounds amazing. So, this aspect you have very well explained, ki social psychology and how it has, evolved from social behavior और किस तरह से लोगों के behavior से derive की जाती है. So I think it is a combination of your personality as well as the environmental factors. दोनों को consider में करके the whole subject is made out of that. Is that correct? Or is there some other inclusions as well?
So you are essentially, your inference is correct, but the only addition that I'll make is that we focus more on what kind of errors that we commit. So just to give you a very common example.
Welcome to the Urban Yogi Club.